Today, on this day of today, we endeavor to learn Prince's acoustic rendition of Little Red Corvette. We do this at the behest of all the Patreon folks who upvoted this choice as part of the monthly Votathon Extravaganza Smorgasbord. Patreon folks, thank you for your effort in this matter, and thank you for your support. By the way, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will post the link to the performance in question in the description. Fair warning, it's a thumb guy noodle fest. If that's not what you were here for, if you were hoping for an easy strum along, well, then for the key he was in that night, put your capo on the first fret. This would be the Uber campfire version, and just play for the verse, F. There's a cat. G, getting Kermie. A minor, F. So when you go again, there's four chords, right? G, A minor, F, and then the chorus will be, this is great, F, G, C. So simple, so good. F, G, C, however many times, and then at the end of the chorus, one F, one G, and those are all the pieces for the Uber campfire version of the key he was in that night playing Little Red Corvette acoustic. Disclaimer, I am not a thumb guy, nor do I play one on the internet. That said, I will show you what Prince was doing that night so that you thumb guys, or aspiring thumb guys, can do it without being able to do it very well myself. Take your baby F shape, just the 4-string F shape, and move it up 2 frets. Now we have F sharp. Also, your thumb guys, is going on the E string 2nd fret. That's our F sharp bass note. And your pinky finger's reaching for baby E4 there. If we had regular bar chord F sharp, we couldn't reach for that E4 without turning it into an F sharp 7, which is not what we want. Also, when you've got your thumb locked on that bass note, you can do noodly stuff with your fingers, and we will go over the noodly stuff that he does and things you could do if you wanted to, but let's just do the chords first. F sharp, do not play the A string. G sharp is 2 frets higher than that. And then A sharp minor is going to be thumb on E6, and then E, B, G6 as well, and if you can swing it, I can't. It's the D string 8th fret there. This is why I'm not a thumb guy, but I'm working at it. Almost. Back to F sharp. So here's the verse chords. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp minor, back to F sharp. Repeat, repeat from there. As we know from the Super Campfire version, the verse and the chorus have the same first 2 chords. You just do it faster in the chorus. And I have a feeling that we're not going to use our pinky for the chorus as well. I will confirm when I, look again. It's been like a day since I figured this out. When I look again for the specifics, here we go. F sharp, G sharp, and C sharp is the same shape up on frets 9, 10, and 11. Bunch of times. Until at the end you do an F sharp and a G sharp, throw your pinky finger back in there, but that's the form of it. Now let's get into the little doo things. Unfortunately, that video starts after he played his first chord, so we don't know what happened on the first chord, and we never will. But the second chord, he starts without his pinky finger on, and then he puts it on. So you got to bar that on the 4th fret of the B and the E strings. Then he walks chromatically up on the E string. I love this. Up into our A sharp minor. And then he does a hammer-on pull-off on the B string before he walks down on the E string 6, 4, 2 into the F sharp. So nobody knows. Then he does a normal one. We're going to call the normal one when he just plays the chords with the pinky finger and doesn't do anything else. Looking at that video, it really looks to me like maybe his ring finger's on the A string for all of those, but I can't even begin to do that. So you can consider that if you want, but it doesn't matter because either way that's still an F sharp chord, that's still a G sharp chord, and that's still going to be, even with your finger on the A string instead, that's still an A sharp minor chord. So again, if you want to do that with the ring finger on the A string instead, fine, it might be that, but I'm not doing it anyways. On the next pass, he does it all normal up until the A sharp minor, at which point he plays his bass note, then plays the B string 9th fret before sliding into the rest of that chord. On the next pass, it's all totally normal again up until, again, the A sharp minor, and you can't see his hand, but there is a sparkle of a really high note on the audio recording, and that note is that note on the E string 11th fret. So grab your bass note, maybe grab a little bit of the chord, and then abandon ship and reach for that E11 down to 9, and then the G string is going to be back in position now, hammer on pull off from 6 to 8, and land on D8 before on your way back down, right? So, and then back into it. And on the last pass before the first chorus, it's all the same again, except at the end of his A sharp minor, he did that same hammer on pull off, but landed on the A string 8th fret instead. So, into the chorus. Well, we've made it to the chorus, and I was wrong about the pinky finger. It's there, but you should decide for yourself whether or not you want to use it. After all, it's your rendition of his rendition of Little Red Corvette. F sharp, G sharp, and up to C sharp on frets 9, 10, and 11. But now we have a major mystery on our hands. We see his hands move down to A6 and go 6 to 8 real quick, and then 6, and then 8. And we hear those notes, but we also hear these notes where his hand is not. It's the same kind of thing, but on the B and E strings from 9 to 11. So how did he do both of those things at once? After all, he is Prince, but I'm completely befuddled. And you can choose for yourself which one you want to use. They're both valid. Doesn't matter. And if anyone knows the answer to that conundrum, please let me know. The same kind of thing happens on the second pass through the chorus. It's much the same. We're going to go 6 to 8, down to 6, and then grab E9. We hear those low notes, and we also hear this, which just ends on the G string 10th fret there. And on the third pass through the first chorus, the new thing that happens on the G sharp chord. The second chord, we're going to hammer on the B string from 4 to 6 with our pinky finger, and we're going to do it twice. And then he does his same thing when we can mysteriously hear more than one guitar playing things. Nothing of note happens in the second verse, but I think I'm onto something with this chorus conundrum. In the second chorus, the last chorus, we hear the D string go 6 to 8, and then 6, 8, 6, and then the A string goes 8, 6. So, but we also hear some high notes in there, and those notes don't change while that's going on. Grab E and B9 with your pinky finger, and now we can do all of those things that we hear at the same time. So this has to be what this particular one is, and maybe if I studied just this song for 6.5 more years, I could figure it all out. But you can run with this, and that may shed some light on the previous conundra. I hope that's the plural of conundrum. Anyways, here you go. That is difficult. Prince. Yep, because on the next pass, here's what happens. Grab D6 and B and E9, and we're going to slide everything we got up 2 frets. But then, when we get back down, we're going to grab the G string 6th fret and go 6, 8, 6, land on D8 all the while, holding those baby strings, right? And then the same thing, but starting on the D string 6th fret, 6, 8, 6, and land on A8. So yeah, that was a process of discovery, but those are all the moves that he did that I could detect. And you know what? I'm not going to go back and change. You've already watched it, so of course I didn't. I'm not going to go back and change that when I hadn't figured that out yet, because, you know, maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you only want to do half of it. Pick your favorite ones or make up your own ones that sound good to you in the realm where we are. And now you've seen the realm where we are and all the notes that are available to you. You can put them in any order you want and make your own little licks as you work up to it, like me. I'm still working on the thumb thing. This is ridiculous. Patreon folks! Thank you all so much for being here to watch me suffer, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.